Hey everybody, I'm William.
I'm Kina.
And we are the Nerdyweds. And today we're doing a non-spoiler review of D&D.
Dynamite.
No, it's TNT.
Whatever.
No, D&D, what was it? Honor Amongst Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
The newest movie coming out in theaters.
So now.
So, what did you think?
I thought the movie was better than it had any right to be. I went into it thinking it's just going to be a fun, maybe a little bit campy type of movie. And there was elements of that.
Yeah.
But it was beyond my expectations.
Yeah.
And I actually had good expectations of it. It exceeded my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my overall thoughts. And I do have an opinion or different things that I would like to mention that stood out to me and that made me really like it.
Okay.
But I can give those things after you give your overall opinion.
I have to agree. As a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, a lifelong fan of Dungeons and Dragons, I have to say it was not only a great Dungeons and Dragons movie, because it was a great Dungeons and Dragons movie. It was also a great movie. It took itself seriously when it needed to. It bit the cheek when it needed to. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of elements that Dungeons and Dragons fans will really enjoy, but it didn't play purely to the fans of Dungeons and Dragons. There was a lot of nods to the fans to let us know, hey, keep watching, you're going to see something. It might be two rust monsters fighting over a piece of armor. And if you don't know what you're looking for and you see it, it'll go right past you. You won't realize what's happening in that. But one of the most dreaded enemies first level players can ever face is a pack of rust monsters, because they're going to eat your gear and you can't hit them with your metal weapons. And it just played really well to Dungeons and Dragons fans. But like I said, it wasn't something you have to know what you're looking for in order to enjoy this movie.
And that is true, because I wouldn't know to look for any of those things, because I am not a Dungeons and Dragons fan, even though I have the
Yeah, I don't have any D&D merch, but she's got an ampersand.
I mean, it's a cute shirt.
That's not even, I don't know, maybe it is Dungeons and Dragons official merch, but it's a cool shirt. It's a really cool shirt.
But I don't know anything in specific to Dungeons and Dragons, all of the little nods that they put in to fans of D&D went straight over my head. But because it was a good movie, period, I really enjoyed it. And some of the things that I did enjoy is that everyone had a story arc and character development. And you have the classic fantasy movie where you have a group of people working together towards a common goal, and they go on a journey, even if that journey is just a journey towards a goal. And each person in that group felt like a real person. They didn't feel like, oh, if this person were to if something were to happen, something really bad were to happen to this person, we wouldn't care because it's just a throwaway character. It didn't feel like that with any of the characters in this movie, and I really like that.
Yeah, it really felt like a D&D group. Like they all won together, they all lost together when they lost, and it was all these things that you experience in a party. And just like all the players sit down at the table, and they all have different motivations for what they want their character to do and be and how they speak. Each of the characters in this movie had their own motivations. And sometimes those motivations were at odds with each other, just like you would get in a real D&D campaign. And it really felt like you were watching somebody took a D&D campaign and made a movie out of it. And it's really how I felt watching it. And all the times I felt like, okay, that's the DM taking one on the chin. Or that's the DM getting revenge on a player. And there were so many times looking at it from the perspective of an experienced player that I'm like, this is stuff that happens in a D&D campaign. You know, just some of the silliness that we'll get into in our other review.
Spoiler review.
Yeah.
Because we are going to do that, and it's going to be longer than this one. But I get exactly what you're saying, because the GM of this movie is really good, because they had a lot of action where it needed to be, and it didn't drag on too long. The pacing was really good, and you combine that with a story that anybody can relate to. And yes, there were times where I felt like, oh, I know where this is going to go, and I know what's going to happen next. And those things did happen. But because the way they laid out the story and the way they presented it, it didn't seem like a big deal to me. That wasn't a problem to me, that I felt like at some points I knew what was going to happen, because how they got there was entertaining. Yeah, so it checked off a lot of boxes and pushed a lot of the right buttons.
Yeah, there was a lot of action, and there was also a lot of humor where it needed to be, and there was a lot of drama and real emotion in the movie. And I really appreciated all those elements being tied together in a really compelling way.
Same.
So I give it 2 thumbs up. I don't know how we're rating movies.
I don't know. I'm going to say I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, and we'll see again. And we actually are going to see it again, because we want to see it a second time so that we can really give a good review for our spoiler review, and maybe catch some things that we might have missed seeing it the first time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to going to see it again. Also, one of the things I said when we first left the theater is we haven't bought a movie in like 10 years. A DVD. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we bought a DVD. I am buying that as soon as the collector's box comes out. And I'm really hoping to have some really fun things from the movie in like a statuette form or something. I'm gonna buy this one on DVD, on Blu-ray rather, on Blu-ray.
Hopefully they have some cool stuff. Well, I know we missed a mid-credit scene, at least according to a guy that was walking out. I heard him tell someone, oh yeah, there's a mid-credit scene. And I was just getting ready to say to you that Marvel has really conditioned me to sit and stay to the end of credits, because it felt so weird to get up and walk out during the credits. But because we're watching it again, it gives us another thing to look forward to.
It gives us something that hasn't been spoiled for us, so we're going to go see the movie and get to see the ending. So, yeah, so my recommendation is go see this movie. It's worth your money. Go support it, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get a sequel, and that would be freaking awesome.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, make a franchise out of this. It doesn't have to be the same characters necessarily.
Oh, I would like for them to be the same characters.
I would too. Don't get me wrong, I would too. But there's so much in D&D that can be explored that they didn't even scratch the surface of the lore that's contained within the core rules, let alone all the expanded rules and everything that's all like official IP. So that's all I got.
Same. That's all I have.
And so until next time, like, comment, and subscribe, and
stay nerdy.